Yeah, Film Vault. Welcome everyone to the Film Vault. That's Anderson. I'm Brian Bishop, your host. For today, top 5 Jews. Top 5 Jewish characters assigned to us by...
I'm not talking this episode.
Oh, wow, that's something I would like to have known beforehand.
Jonathan Mooser, come on.
Before I cued you.
Jonathan Mooser.
Unfortunately, it says Jonathan Oxhorn.
Damn it. I thought that is a big,
that's me.
Big faux pas right there.
You got to make it up to the Moose. You got to pay reparations to the Moose.
To the Moose.
Jonathan Mooser, thank you for the very fruitful topic. I have to imagine I would be shocked if there was much crossover at all. There's so many Jewish characters out there in film. We'll also run film. But we'll list a few of our favorites. What was your criteria, Anderson, besides belonging to the Jewish faith?
Yeah, they had to be Jewish. Not only did they have to be Jewish, but they had to, exhibit Jewish qualities, talk about being Jewish.
What does that mean?
Exhibit Jewish.
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best phrase. Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like, they had to, actually be proud of being Jewish, talk about being Jewish, and have Jewish qualities within their life, like how they live their life. And you'll see. It makes sense. They can't just... be a character who happens to be Jewish. You know what I mean?
I got you. The Jewish aspect of their lives has to be part of their character.
There you go. Aspects, not qualities. Even though qualities is part of it as well. Mooser has brought us, this is his fourth. Count them 4, Brian. This is the 4th decider topic. I fucked up bad, too, when I was talking to Jonathan Mooser, because I thought it was a different Jonathan, and I didn't have my...
Everybody thought it was a different Jonathan.
My spreadsheet in front of me. Poor Jonathan's taking a beating. He's such a great supporter of the program. I'm like, so this is the first time we've ever talked about one of these, right, Jonathan? Because I thought it was a different Jonathan, because I didn't have my notes in front of me. He's like, no, it's my 4th. I'm like, fuck me, Jonathan. I'm so sorry. Son of a bitch. But yeah,
Jonathan. Like Anderson, we've talked many times.
Jonathan, well, I knew I had talked to him before, but... I didn't know that I had talked to him about being a decider before, because I try to talk to everyone who comes to the program and gets one of these levels. You're fairly
successful with that.
I'm fairly accessible as well, and I like to think people in person and or over the phone, as it were, and pick their brain. And a lot of times we have very fruitful conversations. So if you're an assigner or a decider, I try and schedule at least 10 minutes. Sometimes they go longer. And we discuss whatever it is that you chose, because it's some real money that you guys are throwing and supporting the program. So if you're up to it, I like to do that. Some people just don't want to be on the phone. I get that as well.
So Mooser himself is Jewish. Does he feel well represented in film?
Yeah, we didn't get into that really. I can tell you his list though. Movies that I have not seen.
Really?
Yeah, I was getting stressed the farther down his list that we went.
Are they obscure or are they like Frank films?
No, neither.
Oh.
Just movies that I have not yet caught up with from the past. Here are the other topics that Mooser has brought us. Top 5 people playing themselves, as you remember.
Good one, yeah.
Top 5 computers, and most recently, top 5 movies that involve either actors or directors, someone that has been canceled.
Oh,
remember that one?
That's right, involving canceled talent.
Mooser, he gets creative with them.
I like it. Mooser, you're welcome to assign us anything, anytime, as long as you pay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
He assigns good things.
He does. He's a good assigner.
I got news for you.
He's a good decider.
I got clips.
Oh, you? Yeah,
I
you got the clips over there.
Multiple.
Okay, all right. Settle down. You can't handle your clips.
I went through a personal trauma this week, Anderson, so I was running
Car
short on
personal trauma.
That's right. Light flashed before my eyes. It was boring as shit.
Your life?
That's right.
You fall asleep at the wheel? Or
like
what
Max.
happened, sir? What happened? My life put me flashed before my eyes and put me to sleep. That's why I'm snoring on the steering wheel. Wake me up.
That didn't happen. We do have Jews, though. Yes. Should we give our decider the pole position, the cleanup spot?
Whatever you like. Yeah, I think so. Okay. I already know what his list is, and I know that he and I line up. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
On films you haven't seen?
I didn't say all 5 of his picks. All right, let's not get crazy. I don't think I did. I was gonna say, it'd be hard to. No, never mind. You ever do that thing where you're like you're on the old Amazon or Apple, or you got the Netflix over there, you got Hulu, where they got they'll show movies, not necessarily recommended for you, but like different categories and whatnot, and there'll be like a page of movies, maybe like 5 or so, and I'll do a little fun thing where I scroll down. I'm like, let's see how long it's going to take for me to get to a bank of 5 where I haven't seen any single one of them. You know what I mean?
How long?
Usually it's a long time.
It's a long ass time.
But I was going to say it'd be hard to put together like a list of 5 movies that I've never seen. However, that was the goal. It's very easy because there's so many goddamn movies out there. You know what I'm saying, Brian?
It's a really good point.
Yeah.
Can I start?
Feel free to do that.
I got a clip. For number 5, Avery, number 5 is, he's a Jewy Jew.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with any of this. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Jewy Jew is like, what's your take on this, Avery?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were celebrating these characters.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
You could say Jewish Jew.
There you go.
Christy Christ, like that. I don't know if that'd be good for if we were doing top 5 Christians. Oh, percentage of Jewish Americans.
Oh, you asked me to guess?
Yeah, population-wise in the
United
United
States. It's pretty
States.
small, actually. I think it's like 8 or 9.
I have a guess. 1%.
Ooh, you guys are both
I'm
wrong.
going to say way too many.
Avery's much closer.
Oh, really? It's
2.4%.
That's didn't realize that.
Which makes me feel like what I was telling Jonathan Cho all those years ago might have been spot on. I looked up a bunch of percentages. I'll leave it at that. 2.4 was what I saw.
How do you call your list? Are there lists out there of Jewish characters? There must be. I didn't come across. I
did find some like fictional, like Wikipedia's got a page of fictionalized Jewish characters.
Okay.
And there's a couple, like you see with characters in media, with television, movies. But for the most part, I just went off of memory.
Yeah, mine was all off memory too.
All?
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yes, which means I'm sure I forgot 1 or 2 great ones. But I'll start with Judge Abe Petrovsky, played by Martin Landau in The Rounders. In the middle of the movie, he's a devout Jewish man. In the middle of the movie, he has a deep one-on-one with Mike, played by
Matty Dames.
Matt Damon. I almost said McConaughey. That's right, Matt Damon, about his life, about life choices, and whether or not it is a choice. He explains his early destiny to young Mike in this clip.
Who's that?
For generations, men of my family have been rabbis. In Israel, before that in Europe, it was to be my calling. I was quite a prodigy, the pride of my yeshiva. The elders said I had a 40-year-old's understanding of the Midrash by the time I was 12.
That's pretty good.
But by the time I was 13, I knew I could never be a rabbi.
Why not?
Not circumcised?
Because for all I understood of the Talmud, I never saw God there.
Couldn't lie to yourself.
Lack of faith.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say that it broke his parents' heart, but it broke his parents' heart so much that he was not going to continue the tradition of male rabbis in his family, that they were going to, they shipped him off to New York, a land far away, and to live with distant cousins. And that's where he fell in love with the law, and he became a judge and a professor, and that's he believes his life's calling.
Law and order.
Mike McDermott says to him something to the effect of like, well, you didn't have a choice. He's like, what is choice? What choice? What choice did I have? This was my calling. This called me to do this.
His destiny is
That's
what
right.
he's trying to say.
But he was on track to be a rabbi. He understood the Talmud so well at age 12.
So you're number 5. Your first Jewish character is someone who's denouncing religion.
No, he's still a devout Jew. He just did not go down the I guess seminary. What is a rabbi school called? The seminary is for priests.
It's Temple High.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know much about religion, so anything that I'm saying that's flippant is
Is it
not aimed
rabbinical school is what I heard.
at Jewish people per se. It's just me not understanding religion and being ignorant and dumb. All right, so I'll try and keep it to a minimum. I'll try and filter.
He opted out of the rabbinical life, but still maintains
The Jewish people are a
faith.
they are a race
this ought to be good.
of people.
Really?
Yeah, you know that.
Well, I mean,
It's not. I think Judaism, and I could be speaking out of turn. Judaism is the religion, but Jewish people are the race.
that's interesting. I know that people who do like ethnographic studies and whatever. I think
I don't know
there's
if
a
it's race.
lot of debate about that, like a culture and ethnicity. But I know I've heard it argue both ways.
So it's the Jewish Theological Seminary.
There you go.
I mean, I'd have to go to school for like a semester just to memorize that.
That's right.
That's a dumb idea.
All right, Anderson, it's day 100. My God, we're still on.
I would forget it. Like right now, I definitely could not repeat what Avery just said. There's no fucking way. There's no. You could lock me in a room and I can't get out until I say it, and I'll get me in that room for a long time. Theological.
Anderson's. We cut to reveal the door opens. There's Anderson's bones and a pen and a whole bunch of crossed out words. Jew? Question mark. Rabbi guy. Rat boy.
It's just like The Shining. Eventually, he's just drawing Jewish stars, and
he has new tattoos. He himself is converted.
he's got the little curly locks.
Payos. He's got a little payos. That's all that's left on this. Guys, this is listener art. Please, somebody.
He's fixed his tattoo so it looks like like Teflon or whatever it is.
People have mistaken this for Teflon. I think it's Teflon.
Teflon, one of the two.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Someone do that listener art, please.
It's like the opposite.
The Payos is all that's
It's
left.
like the opposite of American History X.
What did you say, Jewish boy? What was it?
I want Anderson. He looks like Ed Norton in American History X, but instead of the swastika, he's got the Jewish star. And he's got
Star David.
I said it.
Look at Brian trying to recount the funny thing that he said. He's not going to be able to get through it.
It was funny. I said rab boy.
Rab boy. No, that's not right. All right. Okay. Very good. All right, number 5 for me.
Please.
This is from the most recent on my list. That's probably why it's so recent. Why it's so high on the list, or so low. What do you 5? Number 5.
You've covered all bases.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's hard. Is it high on the list or low on the list? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's high numbered.
But it's low.
Low on the list, yeah. Rachel Sennott as Danielle in Shiva Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Shiva Baby. She is a recently graduated young girl who's forced to be with her
She's a
immediate
Jewess.
family.
Yes.
In this time of grief because someone has died, and the whole family has to sit Shiva, which I was not familiar with as a goyim, as Corolla used to say. I'm not adept. I think that's been established. And sitting Shiva was a whole new thing for me, where you actually sit for like 2 days. It's like a 2-day long funeral almost, right? Where people come by and pay their respects, and the family is there.
You sit there. There's a lot of food.
And she's a lesbian, which doesn't go down smooth, I guess. And
she has a boyfriend.
No, she's lesbian. Her ex-girlfriend, a person who involved with the ex-girlfriend who's moved on. Her Candy or what's it called?
Her sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy, thinking Candy. Jesus Christ.
her Candy Man.
It's been a long days. So her sugar daddy shows up. Things get uncomfortable and close, and it's all in this one house, and her family is there, and it's a fantastic movie. I absolutely love Shiva Baby. We both absolutely loved it.
The dad from
Mel
in a World.
Yeah, is that what he's from? He's from like everything.
That's what I know. That's how I know him. Yeah.
Fred Melamed. Yeah, he plays her dad. And it's a really, really good movie, and a good character study, as well as for somebody like me who is so ignorant. I walked out of that movie knowing way more about Jewish culture and traditions and the faith, at least in that realm. So yeah, I don't think I'm alone too. Where Jewish holidays come up, and a lot of the time I'm lost. Like I don't know what's happening.
What is Yom Kippur for?
I think I'll hear about it too, but we've established that I'm kind of dumb, so it doesn't stick. You know what I mean? Yom Kippur, unless I'm doing it on a repetitive basis, it's like you got to immerse yourself with the language. I don't know what the fuck Yom Kippur is. All I know is that some people take it off from school and some don't. That's what I know.
You know what? That's what the founders intended. Number 5 for our guest, or for our decider.
Number 5 for Jonathan Moser is Rabbi Avram from The Frisco Kid, played by Gene Wilder.
Deep pull.
Not necessarily the best
work. I saw this
work.
as a kid.
Oh.
I don't remember much about it other than Harrison Ford kept yelling, "Shit!" because he was like a cowboy, and Gene Wilder's like this nebbish rabbi. It's a fun pairing.
Not necessarily the best work from Gene Wilder or Harrison Ford, but his 1979 comedy holds up pretty well. I included it on the list in part because you don't normally think of Jewish characters in Westerns.
No, you do not.
But in fact, there were quite a few Jews in the frontier in places like Tombstone, Deadwood, and certainly in San Francisco. Both stars are cast squarely to type. Gene Wilder's sincere, sometimes overly enthusiastic rabbi. Harrison Ford's character is, I dare say, Solo-esque. The sarcastic, self-interested outlaw that comes back to help his friend in the end. So if you're in the mood for a fun 70s comedy, this is worth a watch, though one aspect may offend Bald Bryan.
What's that?
The title refers to San Francisco as Frisco.
Frisco. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
No, Mooser brought that up in our conversation about how you would be offended by the fact that it's called Frisco.
Yeah, I saw
the
this
Frisco.
movie.
I call it the Frisco.
Yeah, I can rent this for $3 anywhere.
Bodies is what she was in. Shiva Baby. Rachel Sennett. Most recently, we saw her. That doesn't look anything like her, so don't let that make you think that that's her on IMDb. Her picture on IMDb does not look anything like Shiva Baby, but it does. That looks like her from Bodies.
Number 4 for me. Get that clip ready. Number 4 for me is it's my.
Gene Wilder, is he Jewish?
Yeah, of course.
Why, of course?
I believe he is Jewish.
I don't know.
I don't know for a fact though. I can't. I
don't know why he would say of course. Why are you saying of course?
I believe he is.
Mm-hmm.
Some show business. Isn't he? My number 4
that's not a criteria for me.
Is a badass Jew.
The actor doesn't have to be Jewish.
Number 4 is a badass. Do you have any badass Jews?
I got almost exclusively. Also, I wanted to say this. We should have broken this up because it was tough because there's so many Jewish characters out there. It was nice having that one stipulation where they had to, have Jewish qualities. Did I do it again?
Yes.
They had to have Jewish things in their life that were cultural, like and respond, make conversation about being Jewish. They had to let it be known that they were Jewish, but also we could have easily done like top 5 badass Jews.
True.
That would have been a fun one.
True. All right, number 4
Female
is
Jewish characters.
My number 4 is my baddest ass Jew, I believe. Looking at the list, yeah, I'll make the case for it. Talking about Avner Kaufman, played by Eric Bana in Munich.
Good.
Avenging the loss of the Jewish Israeli athletes in the Munich Olympics, based on a true story, of course, based on the real life of Yuval Aviv. Here, Anderson is a clip. So you might be thinking, what kind of clip is he going to play from Munich? I'm not. Here's a clip from a different movie.
What the fuck are you doing?
This might be the first time I've played a clip from a different film. Knocked Up, where some Jewish characters discuss what a badass Eric Bana is in Munich.
Oh, they're doing your job.
That's right.
I just saw again the other day, which is fucking mind-blowing, and I haven't seen it since it came out, is Munich.
Oh, Munich! Munich fucking rules. Munich is awesome.
That movie was Eric Bana kicking fucking ass. Through every movie with Jews, we're the ones getting killed. Munich flips it on its ear. We're Captain Motherfuckers.
Not only killing, but fucking taking names.
If any of us get late tonight, it's because of Eric Bana.
I agree with that. I agree.
He's a big influence. He's a big hero to the Jewish community.
I mean, something that he fails to mention there is like the entire inciting incident was Jews
a massacre,
being, killed
of Jews.
Yeah,
sad.
I mean, I don't think the movie exists
without Jews being without bodies.
Yeah.
You're right. The old incident doesn't exist.
Good call though.
Yeah,
and that was pretty ballsy and inventive of you having
another movie clip. Yeah.
Seth Rogen do your job for you. That's never happened before.
I can't speak to it as well as Seth.
I thought we were gonna have another incident here where it was gonna be similar to Brad Pitt eating scenes, which was very upsetting. Continues to be upsetting. Where we had I think that was a Patreon only episode.
It continues to be.
It was Brad Pitt eating scenes, which my buddy Paul Harper brought to the program. He suggested he thought it was funny because it was so just out of left field. Turns out Brad Pitt eats in a lot of movies, right? So
True.
It's fruitful topic. And but Brian couldn't muster the strength to find 5 of them because one of his Brad Pitt eating scenes was not Brad Pitt eating at all. It was Bruce Willis eating while Brad Pitt was present.
I think what happened was I just Googled Brad Pitt eating scene, and that came up because there's eating and Brad Pitt in the scene. I'm like, good enough. Mm-hmm. Good enough.
Are we just maybe a few months away from you having AI just do your list for you?
Why have I thought? Why have I not thought of that? That's a really good idea.
Somebody recently, I'm not going to name names, DJ, but somebody sent me an email of a couple of reviews that he had AI do of groupers as well as your book, Shrinkage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would like to hear both of those.
I'll read you the Shrinkage.
That's why you read my mind.
This will be good, actually. I'm glad we're doing this. So, have you heard of ChatGPT? Yes.
Yeah, ChatGPT is
Okay, I'm not aware of things how things work in the world. Here's GPT's review of your book.
Be gentle, chat.
Shrinkage, written by Brian Bishop.
Go on.
As a memoir that I should not be doing this on this episode. I don't know if I can. This could take 10 minutes.
Slow down.
Written by Brian Bishop as a memoir that details the author's experience with brain tumor and subsequent medical treatment. While the book offers some interesting insights into the challenges of living with serious illness, it is unfortunately marred by the author's excessive smugness and self-importance.
I don't believe this.
From the very beginning of the book,
self-importance.
It is clear that Bishop sees himself as a special and unique individual.
Well, that's true.
And he seems to revel in the attention that his illness brings.
I'm waiting for the criticism.
He frequently talks down to doctors and nurses and seems to believe that he knows better than they do when it comes to his own treatment. He also shows a surprising lack of empathy for other patients.
Oh, that's mean.
Who are dealing with serious illness.
Elvis is funny up until now.
Dismissing their struggles as less important than his own.
That's really mean.
I think he's talking about that chapter where you were talking about people with skin knees and.
What?
Remember that?
No.
Oh. Overall, the smugness and self-importance that, that permeate Shrinkage make it a difficult read for many readers. While the book does offer some valuable insights into the challenges of living with a serious illness,
it's getting better.
These insights are frequently overshadowed by the author's insufferable arrogance. If you are looking for a memoir that is truly insightful and empathetic, it is best to look elsewhere.
Oh my God.
Says ChatGPT.
I walked right into that. That's good. I was expecting oh my God.
You should put that on the cover.
I really did. I was expecting an amalgamation of all the positive reviews, but that was very funny. I enjoyed that very much. Mm-hmm. Self-importance. You lost me at lack of empathy, but that was very funny. I enjoyed that.
The fact that you can take that and laugh with that.
That's
hysterical. What makes you
that was hysterical.
A special breed of human. All right.
Can we do a pre-review for growth?
You'd have to be you fed some information, which you're probably the only one who's privy to that. All right, where are we?
Number 4 for you.
4 for Mooser, no?
Did you do 4?
Oh, I have not done 4. All right, this comes from a movie that might get mentioned a little too much in this program by me.
That's most movies.
Marlon Brando?
No. Oh, was I doing a little Brando? I'm talking about Hate, Lahane. I'm talking about Vincent Cassel as Vince in Lahane. 1995's Lahane, directed by Mento Kasovitz. This was a revelatory film, a mind-altering movie for me. I didn't know independent films could be that independent and great and cool. It's just a cool fucking movie. And Vincent Cassel, he's like a teenager in this. We know him from all sorts of things now.
Sure.
Probably this audience more from Irreversible than anything else. But he's a very strong actor.
What are his biggest American credits?
Why don't you look him up real quick while I'm talking a little bit about it? But Lahane is, and I just talked about Athena last week, and I was also talking about Hate or Lahane when I was talking about Athena last week, because there are some similarities, and it takes place in France. They both take place in France, and it's kind of us against the cops, and it's kids that are growing up in the harder parts of Paris, the projects, and this one transcends. Lahane transcends because of the 3 main kid characters. The whole story revolves around a cop lost a gun in a riot, and who has that gun? Mm-hmm. There's a gun on the loose, and they can't believe it because of the fucking strict gun laws over there. It makes everything a little bit different. And Vincent Cassel is a Jewish kid, and his best friends are an Afro-French boxer. So he's like a black dude, and then a North African Muslim is his other friend. Those are the 3 lead characters. And it's kind of like oil and water. They're not even supposed to, get together or be friends at all. It's like cats and dogs, as my Jewish Russian doctor once told me years ago. She's like, Arabs and Jews, like cats and dogs. Like,
She
really?
would know.
I don't. I'm just here for a checkup. I don't need to hear these kinds of things. But the fact that they are so committed to one another and so love each other and work together because they haven't been jaded and they haven't been what's the word?
What? They have been conditioned against each other.
Conditioned and and he's Jewish. He talks about his Jewish faith. There's actually one little scene where he's like break dancing to like this traditional Jewish music, which was fun.
That's good.
So that's my number 4 is Vincent Cassella's Vins and Lehane. And I know I've talked to some of you recently, and this movie does come up because it is one of those movies where it's like, this fucking movie rules. Made me a giant fan of Mato Kasovitz, even though he never followed up with anything remotely as strong as this. I got to interview him once. He was great. Mato Kasovitz, for those of you who have seen The Fifth Element and know it by heart like I did for a moment there, The Fifth Element's so good. He has a bit part in The Fifth Element. He's the guy that's wearing the view of the camera on his head. It's like a headband, and then Bruce Willis comes out and he's like saying, "Give me the cash."
That's a deep pull.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the director of this. Really good. He did Gothica. I think he followed up this one with Gothica, and he's made some other. I got to interview him for a movie that he shot like in the Arctic, and he was talking about how the film was actually breaking. It was getting so cold it was breaking in the magazines.
Oh.
Anyways,
that's cold.
So I know a number of you have still not seen Hate. You should absolutely see Hate.
Vinny is in Black Swan and Underwater.
Oh, Black Swan. He was the teacher.
Black Swan is the one. Yeah, he was really, really good in that.
Good call.
He's a great actor. We need more of him. There's just a lot of his type out there, I think. So it's probably the playing field is it's tough, right?
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear Moozer's number 4.
Moozer's number 4 is Ben Kurtzman from Liberty Heights, played by Ben Foster. This is the last of Barry Levinson's 4 Baltimore movies, the others being Diner, Tin Men, and Avalon.
Which one?
Liberty Heights.
Liberty Heights.
Which is another movie I have not seen.
I've not seen either.
Well, it's a great coming-of-age story about a kid realizing that most of the people in the world aren't Jewish and that not everyone likes Jews. Among Liberty Heights characters, it was kind of a coin flip between Ben and his brother Van, played by Adrian Brody, but I felt like Ben kind of drove the movie more. Joe Mantegna, as the strip club owning dad, deserves a shout-out as well.
Yeah, looking at Liberty Heights and I don't know how I missed this. It came out in '99 too, and it's such a Barry Levinson looking movie. It's just rich and gets shot on film and it just looks like a movie should look. I need to see this movie.
This might have been his last good movie.
Could have been. The trailer though is 4:3, aspect ratio 4:3 is a square, which is it's concerning. I need to watch this goddamn thing. Son of a bitch. All right, Liberty Heights.
Barry Levinson movies.
Yeah, look at this. This looks great. All right, the trailer's no longer. Ben Foster's crushing it. God, why have I not seen this movie? I feel great regret for not having seen this movie. This looks fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that might have been his last good movie.
Now it's going on to something else.
Now it's HBO Max shit.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes on that? I may have to see it.
Well, it's 7.0. Oh, Christ. It's just morphed into a Wes Anderson. Oh, just fresh dispatch.
86.
Oh, my eyes are bleeding.
86.
Get out of here.
86. All right. Number 4 or 3 for me.
Number 3.
3 for me. The rare Jewish supervillain. You don't see it too often. But this is a supervillain play. The character is Eric Lenscher, a.k.a. Magneto, played by Ian McKellen.
Look at
and,
you.
of course, Michael Fassbender. This was a bit of a this was a last minute, like, oh, yeah, the fucking concentration camps.
This was
and all that
inspired.
shit. The concentration camps. Like, you get his origin story in 2 different movies, X-Men and then later in X-Men First Class, how he was in a concentration camp as a young kid, and which is where and how his powers became evident. There's a cool moment in X-Men 2. I think I have the clip here. So apparently it's very common for mutants to get tattoos. And one of the mutants in this giant room he goes into filled with mutants asks him, "Hey man, where's your tattoos?"
You're so proud of being a mutant. Where's your mark?
I have been marked once, my dear, and let me assure you, no needle shall ever
Pulls up
touch
a
my
sleeve.
skin again.
It's marked with a number.
It's a date, right?
Marked. No, it's like a serial number for fucking exterminating Jews. Yeah, so he's like, no, never again am I getting ink. So she's like, yeah, she kind of had her bluff called. She's like, yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if it's cool.
No, as in like, you're cool.
You get a
You're
pass.
Good. You're good.
Yeah.
But he's a badass Jew in his own right, I guess, and definitely a supervillain. So
him killing Nazis in First Class is great.
That's great. Yeah, he never gets his revenge in first one. There's only a pre-title sequence. But yeah, he goes down to Argentina and they open up a bar, and of course can speak German because he's German. And revenge is extracted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with a Nazi knife.
That's right. It's like blood and honor, huh? It's good. It's a good scene.
I don't remember any of it.
Oh, really?
Great.
It's a
X-Men
solid
is just
scene.
so dense. There's so much going on with it. I see one like every 3 or 4 years. I'm like, I really like the fast guy.
Magneto's always the best part.
Yeah.
Fassbender's great.
Fassbender
Ian
goes down
McKellen's
to like
obviously,
Argentina,
incredible.
where there's like a German
So
bar, and he's like, and they're drinking Bitburger, and he's like, hey guys, you ever been out of the country? It's good stuff.
I think Atticus and I are going to start watching a very old, very old 90s cartoon, X-Men cartoon that's in the same vein as the one of the early Spider-Man that we watched. Every day he gets home from school, like 3 or 4 days a week, we watch something when he gets home from school. And we have a little snack, and it's like a little catch up. And we're done with all the Spider-Mans pretty much. Like I think we watched 5 or 6 different series. And now we're just choking down the Mighty Ducks. We're almost done with that. And then I think we're going to switch. Gio's really pushing hard for this. It's supposed to be very good. And then I will maybe have a better understanding. I got to tell you, I have so much better of an understanding of the Marvel universe, at least through the lens of Spider-Man, having watched all of these things. It gives me a greater appreciation through my child's eyes. Yeah, it's fun.
What's your number 3, bro?
I was talking about Marvel stuff. I feel like that should be the leader.
Oh, okay.
We should spend more time on that, just for the numbers.
Put it in the title of the episode.
Marvel stuff.
Anderson discusses Spider-Man's.
Spider-Man's. One of the characters calls him Spider-Man. Spitterman. No, Spitterman. It's pretty good. I'm looking for Spitterman. Number 3 for me is Sergeant Donnie Donowitz, also known as the Bear Jew, played by Eli Roth.
I'm glad I left it off the list. That's a badass Jew.
And Inglourious Bastards, 2009. This is a fantastic character, a character that plays against a type as far as like the badass, very, very like big, muscular, bloodthirsty, angry, vengeance fueled Jewish man in World War II, because we've all been subjected to the atrocities of World War II time and time again with countless movies, and to see, it was so satisfying to see a character like this who is somewhat pulled from reality. Tarantino, spent 10 years putting together these characters, and his backstory didn't even make it in, but I found his backstory, which was cut from the actual movie, but it's very interesting. So there's a scene that didn't make the movie, but revealed that Donnie worked in his father's barber shop in Boston. This is the Bear Jew, played by Eli Roth. He worked in his father's barber shop in Boston, and before he was deployed, he went to his local store to buy the heaviest baseball bat he could find. He then went around and asked his Jewish neighbors to sign the names of loved ones suffering in Europe on it. The movie doesn't point this out, but Anne Frank's name is amongst the signatures. That's on. Maybe this scene is in the movie. It's been a long time.
I can't remember specifically.
So.
And then Tarantino also revealed, this is fun. This is a lot of fun because Tarantino, he has such a deep appreciation for stories and overlap and cinematic universes. Tarantino revealed that Donnie is actually the father of Lee Donowitz, the film producer played by Saul Rubinek in True Romance. So he's the dad, the Bear Jew.
That's
the
good.
Bear Jew fathered the guy who had problems with cocaine on the PCH.
That is excellent.
He didn't have problems. It was a Bronson Pinchot who had the problems.
Oh, he ended up having problems, though, right?
Sure.
They all had problems. Yeah, they all had big problems.
Okay, you know what?
And didn't Tarantino his original casting for the Bear Jew?
That tickled the back of my mind.
So
I
many different people were involved.
At least
Erwin
according to Wikipedia.
Winkler.
Adam Sandler was asked by Tarantino to play the role of Donnie Donowitz.
I said Erwin Winkler, and that wasn't true.
But he declined due to schedule conflicts with the film Funny People. Back to Eric Bana.
Bana would have been good. Wait, there's like 3 or 4 different names that I read about that were up for the Bear Jew. The Fonz was not one of what's Larry? What's his name?
Henry Winkler.
Henry. I was saying Erwin, who was a a producer.
There was an Aaron Winkler. Yeah.
There was an Erwin Winkler. All right, yeah. So that's a fun little aside about the Bear Jew, and yeah, Eli Roth just crushes it. Speaking of like a great Loveline guest, he was a very good guest. He was on there promoting one of the hostels, and he got there early, and I got to just talk with Eli Roth about movies, and that guy just loves his films. It was a really, really spirited, fun conversation.
I think it was after my time.
I think it was after your time, yeah. But, yeah.
All right.
Bear Jew.
Number 3 for our decider.
Number 3 for Jonathan Mooser is the aforementioned Danielle from Shiva Baby.
Oh.
Played by Rachel Sano. You recently did a listener's list of favorite movies that they learned about from TFV. For me, Shiva Baby is high on that list.
Nice.
I'm not sure I ever would have heard of it, let alone seen it if it wasn't for the show.
Really?
The film portrays a fairly accurate representation of Shiva with lots of kibitzing and eating and gossip. The film is interesting because Danielle is both entirely in her element and a complete fish out of water.
It's true.
Her life choices are the exact opposite of what is expected of her. And, by the way, the IMDb synopsis says it takes place at a Jewish funeral service. A Shiva is not a funeral. It is a 7-day period of mourning at the family's home after the funeral and burial. The family will traditionally sit Shiva while friends bring them food, and the word Shiva literally means 7.
Oh.
I thought it was 2 days, so that shows how much I remembered. And I know it wasn't a funeral from my conversation with Jonathan Mooser. Even after watching the movie, though, it is associated with funerals from what we know or think of as funerals. And it's associated with the death, and it's associated with the gathering, and therefore but it's after the body has already been put. Because I think that also with the Jewish traditions, like you got to put that body in the ground quick.
Right away.
Yeah.
That's what I understand.
Because they get concerned about mushrooms and getting involved with the bloodstream.
Okay.
From what I understand. It's not true.
On that note, should we take a break?
That was a left of what's left? Who's left? What's it called? The Leftovers? What's it called? What the fucking show that everyone's watching right now?
Last of Us.
The Last of
The
Us.
Left of Us.
Last week tonight of us.
Well done. All right, coming up, we'll do some Amazon purchases, then the conclusion to our list after this. I want to thank the 8 people who tapped our banner to get recent guest of the show, Gina Grad's brand new book, My Extra Mom.
Oh, that's nice.
It released this week, and 8 people tapped our banner or link there and got it. Very good for you. Very good for Gina. Congratulations, Gina, on your publication of your book. We're all excited to check it out. If you haven't checked out My Extra Mom, give it a tap. Give it a click.
I don't know about that. You're not much of a salesman.
I'm suggesting.
He's still reeling from the review.
That's right. You know what? Now that my book's been decimated.
I was going to say, you used the exact same word.
By a chatbot. All the things purchased. Ugh. I don't know if I can go forward. I'm so crushed.
Or not.
AA racks, full-size pickup truck ladder racks were picked up this week. Someone got themselves a Singer heavy-duty sewing machine, and I assume the same person got a Singer heavy-duty sewing machine's extension table. You all right? Yeah.
Queued up a clip, and it started by accident.
Keep it going.
He didn't react at all. What that?
What happened?
You didn't
My
hear?
headphones are off. I reacted. Your headphones are on. You didn't even skip a beat.
I'm talking. Brother Genuine Super High Yield Toner Cartridge. Kosori Food Dehydrator to make. They give examples. Jerky, vegetables, fruit, meat, dog treats. That makes a lot of sense. If you got a food dehydrator, you can make dog treats. Herbs as well.
No raisins? They don't say raisins?
I guess they ran out of room.
Throw some grapes in there. Make some raisins.
I think it falls under fruit. Beaver Craft Deluxe Wood Carving Kit. TE Smart 2-port HDMI switch. Instant Pot Duo Plus.
What would you get if you put like cotton candy in there? Just like taffy?
Probably just
hard candy, like old lady
it
candy?
might revert just back to granules. You know what? Give it a shot, you guy or girl who bought that, and let us know. Although you might mess up your thing. It's very sticky. Instapot, I mentioned that. Amazon Basic Care Mini Nicotine Lozenges. Western Digital 1 terabyte internal SSD. Office Share Heavy Duty Caster Wheels. Plus Encapsulations 1 multivitamin, ONE multivitamin. 2 group gift. This was very clever when I ran across this. I didn't know you could do this, and this actually is a cool thing. 2 people contributed to a group gifting baby registry contribution. I guess if you're all going in like a huge gift for someone, then you can like set it up on Amazon and say, hey, contribute $20, $50, whatever it is, and a whole bunch of people get in on that. That is very clever. Thank you for saying. I assume you set that up through us. 3-channel dash cam, Team Group T4 Zeus DDR4, Beyond Raw and Anabolic Sleep tablets, Covercraft US V1 UVS 100 custom sunscreen, 100 custom sunscreen, DualShock 4 wireless controller for PlayStation 4, Newbie 5x7 acrylic picture frames, SanDisk 512 gig extreme micro SDs, 2 silver Stilvian, I don't know what the fuck that is, folding knives, Nair hair remover face cream.
Brian, I got some terrible news for you.
Sperry men's core stripper.
I don't think your new headphones are working.
And Chef IQ smart thermometer. There you go.
I see my headphones.
Make me right.
I'm going to put some tape here, and I'm going to draw some eyes, so that when you start talking about a movie I've not seen.
That's very Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it's very. I was going to say I'm going to do the Homer thing to you. Excited about that?
That's good.
Yeah, pumped up. Here are the movies that were clicked through. This is the last time I talked about you.
My window's open.
The Fablemans was clicked through. This is going to be a short list. You guys are not clicking through this week. What's going on with you? You out in the theaters, catching up with the Oscar movies? Giving up on us? You're not watching movies anymore? Well, what's going on? It's the shortest list I've seen in months, maybe ever.
You're not selling it.
Did I tell you the Fablemans got clicked through?
You haven't seen that.
The Ides of March was clicked through as well.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great poster. Remember, it was like a Time magazine.
It was a solid poster, yeah.
It was,
Gosling and Clooney.
Yeah, that split faces. Sleepless in Seattle was clicked through. Somebody ran out of their sleeping medication. The French Connection was clicked through. That'll wake you up. Hey, and The Company of Men. We talked about that, I think, last week's program. Tess was clicked through as well. Not Guardian Tess, just Tess.
Just Tess.
Still Breathing. Not All the Breeze, but Still Breathing was clicked through.
All this Still Breathes?
The Go-Go's was clicked through.
Okay.
The Go-Go's. Is that like a collection of their videos? Or
Could be.
Hey, The Northman. Which, if you have a tragedy, especially if it's not like something monumental, if it's something minor, like just a family member that's a dog, you can watch The Northman and put things in perspective.
It's true.
Yep. And then finally, 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri is clicked through, which is the movie that precedes his most recent one, which was
Banshees.
Banshees of Inisherin. That's right. What do you like more there, the Banshees of Inisherin or the 3 billboards? It's shocking to me that you're thinking about this. Like there's nothing to think about. There's absolutely.
You're right. It's 3 billboards by far. Back to the show.
Back to the program.
All right, welcome back. My number 2, which there is a clip for. If there's going to be crossover, it's got to be here. This is a converted Jew, not born into the faith, but someone who adopted it because their wife at the time was Jewish, and they decided to become Jewish as well, follow the Jewish faith.
They go all in too. They go all in. They don't know how to do anything half-assed.
And despite the fact that they're no long divorced. Yep. Walter Sobchak, played by John Goodman in The Big Lebowski, he maintains his faith, such to the point that, here he explains what his religion forbids him from doing on Saturdays.
That's right, dude. 100% certain.
They posted the next round for the tournament.
Donnie, shut the fuck. When do we play?
It's Saturday.
Saturday? Well, I have to reschedule.
Walter, what am I going to tell Lebowski?
I told that fuck down at the league office. Who's in charge of scheduling?
Walter.
Burkhalter.
I told that crowd a fucking 1,000 times I don't roll on Shabbos.
Walter.
He already posted it.
Well, they can fucking unpost it.
This is the most Anderson clip I've ever
They're going
played.
to kill that poor woman, man. What am I going to tell Lebowski?
Come on, dude. Eventually she'll get tired of her little game and, wander on back.
Yeah.
How come you don't roll on Saturday, Walter?
I'm Shomer Shabbos.
What's that, Walter?
Yeah, and in the meantime, what do I tell
Three-way
Lebowski?
conversation.
Saturday, Donnie, is Shabbos, the Jewish day of rest. That means I don't work. I don't drive a car. I don't fucking ride in a car. I don't handle money. I don't turn on the oven. And I sure as shit don't fucking roll!
Sheesh.
Shomer Shabbos!
Sheesh.
Walter, how am I going to...
Shomer fucking Shabbos.
Oh, fuck. That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, come on, dude.
I love how he vacillates just so effortlessly.
That is the most you I've seen on screen.
No.
Yeah.
No, come on, buddy. I mean, he does effortlessly just go from 1 to 5, just like back and forth. He just skips over 2, 3, and 4.
Well, Donnie, I don't drive a car.
Yeah.
And then doesn't acknowledge that he was just there. That's it's great. Doesn't acknowledge he was
There's
just on a
no
5.
acknowledgement. Yeah.
It just comes back to, come on, dude.
Come on, dude. What are you doing? So good.
The best was early on in that clip when his reaction, his natural reaction is say, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Shut the fuck up."
And then he catches himself. He's like, "Oh, that's interesting."
The best one is when he's biting the program in the play. Just tell you what the
I know, it's my favorite. He covers his face out of embarrassment. We'll go to In-N-Out, have some burgers, have some laughs. Shut the fuck up. He looks around. There's like nobody in the theater, so it doesn't matter. That's my favorite part of that entire fucking movie.
I gotta rewatch that again soon.
That scene that you just said, though, that I've cited it before. Like, it's my favorite part of the entire movie. I think is where he just loses it. Shut the fuck up! The little pamphlet, the little program, the little playbill. Yes. And his face is so big he can't even cover his face with it.
Calmer than you are, dude.
Calmer than you are, dude. It's a movie I did not like the first time I saw it. There's just too much going on, too much story, too much dialogue. I'm like, I'm just confused and kind of bored. It's too much. And it's my favorite comedy of all time.
Fun. All right, number 2.
Number 2 for me is could be called The Jew of Jews, really.
Oh, please.
Yeah. But which one am I going with? Superman? Or Green Goblin? I'm going with Willem Dafoe as Jesus in The Last Temptation of Christ,
inspired.
1988. Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ. This is a very handsome-looking Willem Dafoe playing Jesus, and it follows. It's a struggle to get through this movie, especially somebody my age. When I saw this movie as a young teenager, very excited about a new Scorsese film. Hey, this is the man who made Taxi Driver. This is the man who made King of Comedy. He's making a movie about Jesus getting it on with a whore. Can't wait. I'm like, oh, wait.
My window's open.
Your window is open. I was very, very excited to see this. Willem Dafoe, Elias, Brian. Elias from Platoon is playing Jesus. Oh, things are lining up for me to enjoy this movie. Like no one's ever enjoyed a religious movie at this age. And I was very deflated when I left the theater. However, that said, I should probably revisit this one. And Willem Dafoe was fantastic as Jesus. And yeah, it turns out that his Judaism does come up within the movie. But
he's the king of the Jews.
This movie was so, and it's funny because Scorsese is a devout, I don't know if I should say devout, but he's a known Catholic, right? He's a Catholic Italian man, and he took a lot of heat. This movie was very, very controversial when it came out. How dare you show
death threats?
Yeah. But so I'm going with Willem Dafoe, not the Passion of the Christ, Jesus, but the one that was tempted. Yeah. The cross wasn't the only wood in this movie, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Jesus Christ, that was very tasteless.
It really was. Unnecessary.
It popped in my head, and I told you I was going to try and filter. I didn't filter that one. I should have probably.
I appreciate you said cross, though, not crucifix.
That would make it worse, yeah.
Because crucifix has Christ on it.
I remember Drew mentioned the fact that he was a big Linda Blair fan, as in like he was very attracted to her as a young man.
Sure.
And I asked him something along the lines like, if you ever met her, did it cross your mind to maybe dress up as a crucifix?
Because she does things
with the crucifix
to herself.
And the Exorcist, yes. He did not find that amusing at all. In fact, he was very offended that I would bring them to the program.
I mean, it happened.
He didn't answer.
Oh, well, at least offer an answer.
I know. At least say no. I would never. Like, maybe I should should have thought. All
right, Moozer, what do you got?
I hope that's Drew's Halloween costume this year.
The fact that was in a movie, a little girl
really pushed it,
taking a cross, screaming, "Let J-Man F you," and then
my window's open.
I mean, is there anything more vile in any movie ever in the history of movies?
Aside from like maybe eating feces.
No, that's way worse.
The feces?
No, eating poop is like it's gross and whatnot, but I mean a little.
But I'm talking about a visceral, like stomach churning reaction.
I'm just talking about like offensive, like the kinds of things you see them and you're like, if there is a heaven and a hell, maybe I just kind of stepped closer to the hell side for watching this.
Do you consider Two Girls, One Cup to be a film?
I've never seen.
Oh, well, then you would know.
Can't assign.
I will not.
I've never seen that bullshit. I've never. I don't. Plus, why? Why would you? No.
All right, number 2 for Moose.
Number 2 off that segue.
Sorry,
is
sacrilegious.
Jonathan Safran Foer from Everything Is Illuminated, played by.
Oh wow, that's a deep
Elijah
pull.
Wood.
I had a drop from that movie. That is an obscure.
Yes, he brought this up when I was talking to Moser. He brought this up, and he asked if it was my drop or yours, and I said, "Well, considering the fact that I've not seen this movie, it's probably actually one of the few rare Bryan originals."
It might be the only one.
This movie deserves more props, and I'm not sure why it's slipped through the cracks over the years. It's a quirky comedy road movie, but also a serious film about people coming to grips with their pasts. To be sure, the best character is almost certainly Alex, who isn't Jewish. That actor, Eugene Hutz, is actually more of a musician and has appeared in very few movies before or after Everything Is Illuminated, but his performance here is so much fun to watch. I'm not sure I've heard this mentioned before on TFV, but I can definitely recommend it. The 66% RT score feels too low. The 89% audience score is more on the money.
All right.
Oddly, this seems to be the kind of movie that might get a high reviewer score but a lower audience score, but it's the other way around. Side question for the hosts. At one point in the movie, Alex asks Jonathan if Michael Jackson was Jewish. Jonathan laughs and says, no, definitely not a Jew. Was the line once a drop used on the Corolla show?
That's right. Yes, that is. In fact, it was someone else who alerted me to that. They're like, hey, because they used to do a bit on the Corolla show, definitely not a
boring
Jew.
bit.
Yep, and someone emailed me out of the blue. I was like, hey, man, there's this movie called Everything Is Illuminated with Elijah Wood where he says definitely not a Jew. I'm like, gosh, I think I rented it from like Hollywood Video or something and tracked down the scene. And sure enough, yeah, it's like a cab driver or like a
Did you watch
car.
the movie?
No, of course not.
You just fast forward to that
That's
part?
until I got to it.
Why didn't you just like pull from Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song? He says not a Jew like numerous times.
Yeah, but definitely they drove it home.
Definitely is what sold it for you.
Number 1 for me.
Sure.
Anderson, you and I are floating around the same idea here. But number 1, I've had clips for number 5, 4, 3, and 2. No clip for number 1 because the entire film is spoken in Aramaic. Mm-hmm. Talking, of course, about the King of the Jews, Jesus Christ himself.
Don't tell them it's the Jews. They're not a fan.
Jesus H. Christ, played by Jim Caviezel from The Passion of the Christ. No clip, like I said.
Why not?
What's that?
Why not?
Could have just played whipping sound effects.
I guess, yeah, that would have been probably sufficed. I wouldn't have gotten much from it. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you consider this a fun fact or not, but Jesus was made to wear the infamous crown of thorns as punishment, derision, if you will, for being, quote, King of the Jews. It's like, oh, you're the king, huh? Here, put this on.
Oh, I see. Like I think I knew that. I think that made sense. So.
We learned about that in Catholic school.
Oh, you went to Catholic school?
Yeah, a few years. Off and on.
Number 1 for me is a slam dunk, really. The fact that you have Superman playing Jesus being whipped for 2.5 hours as your number 1 is blasphemy to Walter and myself, and probably listeners as well. The Big Lebowski, Walter Sobchak. His name doesn't really ever come up.
Wait, why do you keep saying Superman?
Isn't that the guy that plays him?
Jim Caviezel?
Yeah, isn't that Superman? Or didn't he play Superman for a minute? I don't know.
Brendan Ruth played Superman, and then
who's
Henry Cavill.
Same
You're
guy,
confusing Caviezel.
They look the
and
same,
Cavill.
right?
No,
they kind of look the same.
Put us side by side.
Whatever. Neither one of them has got my my attention to make me want to see.
Well, they both spend a lot of the movie with their shirts off.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
They both have superpowers.
Arguably, yeah.
I mean, unexplainable powers.
I think that Superman is definitely like...
he's a Christ figure.
Yes, Christ figure. All right. That's probably why. That's what I was going. Right.
This is where your head was at.
I thought he was Superman.
Henry Cavill.
I've done that
James
before.
Caviezel.
I've been corrected before, and then the stupid brain circles back.
Right back.
Yeah, right back. All right, number 1. It's already been covered. What more can you say? John Goodman as Walter. And the best
Do you have a clip?
No, I don't have a clip. Because I know that there was already a clip coming from Jonathan Moser himself.
Oh, the Moose.
I believe he has a clip.
It is actually the same clip as Bryan. Yes. So we heard it as number 1 is Walter Sobchak in The Big Lebowski. I love The Big Lebowski ever since I first saw it in the theater. There's so many great lines, so many great scenes, but the moment that it became an instant classic for me was when Walter, in his gruff, complaining voice, barks, "I'm Shomer Shabbos." This is a Hebrew term that literally means observer of the Sabbath.
Okay.
There's actually a lot going on in this scene, as it deserves a bit of a breakdown. It begins with a throwaway line that's hard to even notice. Walter says, "Etz Haim He," which, as the ex used to say, Etz Haim He is another Hebrew phrase that means it is a tree of life and refers to the Torah. It's not clear why Walter thinks of this line at that particular moment, but it's the first indication that he identifies as Jewish. Then when Donnie tells him that their next match is on Saturday and that Burkhalter made him schedule, he has to go off and yells, "I told that crowd a fucking 1,000 times I don't roll on Shabbos." This is a crass defensive implication that Burkhalter scheduled the match on Saturday due to Nazi prejudice. After Walter declares that driving, no using the oven, and of course... Oh, no, hold on. That's very dense. After Walter declares that he's Shomer Shabbos and Donnie asks what it means, he launches into an accurate description of how Orthodox Jew would observe the Sabbath. No working, no driving, no using the oven, and of course, I'm sure as shit don't fucking roll. The whole sequence ends with the classic Shomer fucking Shabbos. Not sure if you'll have time in the show, but yes, we did have time. We played the entire clip, and it is glorious.
Enjoyable.
What's funny is, as many times as I've seen that movie, I've probably seen it like 12, 15 times, right? I don't remember him saying that first
I've never
bit
noticed him say that.
Same.
That
Let's see if we can hear it this time.
let off
We'll
with.
play one more
it's not
time.
in
Let's see
there.
if we can hear it at the beginning.
No, he
They're close to
described
the next round for the tournament.
Donnie, shut the fuck. When do we play?
Does he not say it?
Saturday.
it must be right before.
I
that.
thought he said early in the film.
Oh, maybe he does. Let's see.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he did earlier in the film.
I corroborate that. I can back that up. He said it earlier. It was like the first.
He said, "Oh, it begins in
Jewish-
this line."
First.
This line. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
All
gonna
right.
trust Mooser on this one. He's our resident expert.
That's true. And he also ran so many.
So there's too many. There's really too many. But the Coen brothers, and I'm still waiting. You know what's going to happen. Like the Coen brothers are going to reunite. They're going
Sure.
to come out with something phenomenal. Those guys just work so well together. But Barton Fink is another Coen brother. Sid Abelman, played by Fred Melamed in Serious Man. I really like that Serious Man.
I love that movie. That
I
was really good.
like that movie. You know who didn't? Jonathan Mooser. We had words.
Oh.
Greg Weinstein, played by Nicky Katt in Boiler Room. He is a
Is he Jewish now?
he's a Jewish guy. Brendan Fraser in School Ties. I have not seen that movie since it came out, and I couldn't sign off. I do remember him getting the shit kicked out of him, and then him kicking the shit out of people.
All right.
I remember Fraser being that guy. To be or not to be. I flickfested not too many weeks ago, but that is a story about a bunch of Jewish actors on stage impersonating Germans during World War II. That's a movie that's got a bunch. Jerry Stiller as Murray Baustein in Zoolander.
In Zoolander,
yeah.
that's right.
I just couldn't find a clip that worked well enough.
Oh, he's so good.
He is very good, but it was a little bit too satirical.
That's true. I don't know that the fact that he was Jewish played much into his character.
Dennis Farina as Abraham, cousin Avi in
Snatch.
Yes. Albert Brooks, Bernie in Drive.
That's right.
He speaks about being Jewish like maybe once, but he's not. That's not his identity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to my recollection. Alicia Silverstein as Cher in Clueless.
Mm-hmm. Silverstone.
Silverstone. Oh yeah, it is Silverstone. God, that's how long ago she's been around. Silverstone.
Yes, that's her name.
I know, but I don't even think of her anymore. Like, where's she gone?
That's true. It's really out of sight.
If you said Silverstein, I would not go like, no. And then finally Jennifer Grey as Baby, Frances Baby Houseman in Dirty Dancing.
So many. I'll mention a few. Life is Beautiful. Almost went with Roberto Benigni.
No, it's Roberto Benigni.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Black Klansman, Adam Driver.
It's Driver.
Oh, it is. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. Ace Rothstein. Is it Rothstone?
I don't know.
Okay. Played by De Niro, Casino. Mm-hmm. And almost got real cute. Then went with Fievel from American Tail.
That would have been very cute.
Very cute.
American Tail?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then also, it should be mentioned some of the shockingly recent, uglier depictions of Jews. I'm watching a lot of Harry Potter movies these days because of Tessa and the Gringotts elves who They're just money-grubbing elves. They just spend all day counting the money. They control all the money for all the wizards. Just horrible stereotypes of Jews. Big, giant hook noses and pointy ears.
Do they call themselves Jewish?
No, of course not. But they're very clearly.
So you're putting those characteristics on your idea of Jewish.
No, I recognize. I'm recognized through history how Jews have been demonized. Demonized. Yeah. And the fact that you can't see that makes me wonder.
I don't see anything involved with that entire franchise because I barely know who Harry is.
Yeah. The Gringotts elves.
Harry.
Potter.
Yeah.
Pooter. All right, let's gamble. And do you have a listener talk about?
We do. Yeah. And honorable mention, Tom Hardy in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, yes. TV Vault.
TV Vault.
He might have been my number one had this involved TV. I had done that in the past.
I don't know what that is.
Excellent.
TV.
Excellent. So just a friendly reminder from Mitch Burns, but please put the movie character actor names because he doesn't know everything just by the photo.
Yeah, Jordan Wolf used to ask the same thing from you guys.
Mitch went above and beyond in honor of our Jewish listeners. We get a top 10.
Oh.
So number 10 is the entire cast of The Producers.
Fair enough.
Number 9 is Larry Gopnik, played by Michael Stuhlbarg in A Serious Man.
Serious Man.
Yep.
Number 8 is Jesus from Passion of the Christ.
Jesus.
7, Julius Levinson in Independence Day. Judd Hirsch. He is
wow. That's a bit of a caricature.
Patrice O'Neill has a great breakdown of how that's one of the most racist portrayals
a bit of a character.
in movie history. I highly recommend checking that out. Patrice O'Neill, Independence Day, fucking hilarious. 6, Rabbi Tuckman, played by Mel Brooks in Robin Hood Men in Tights. 5, Carlito Brigante, Al Pacino in Carlito's Way. Number 4, Donnie the Bear Jew Donowitz, played by Adam Goldberg in Inglourious Bastards. Number 3, Tevye.
Wait, Eli Roth.
Why did it say Adam Goldberg?
I don't know.
Eli Roth, that is correct.
Oh, good catch, Anderson.
Number 3, Tevye, played by Chaim Topol.
I have not seen
Fiddler on the Roof.
I have not seen.
Fiddler's fun. Number 2 is Sam Ace Rothstein, played by Bobby De Niro in Casino. And number 1 is Private Mellish. This one, played by Adam Goldberg in Saving Private Ryan.
Did Walter not make the top 10?
On there?
No.
Oh.
Surprisingly. And then Mitch says, someone submitted this. It's a photo, and he said, A, is this racist? B, am I supposed to know what the fuck this is? This was the photo, and I know what it is. Do you guys have any idea?
That's Borat.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, that's the
race.
Oh, yeah. No,
running of the bulls.
It's played for laughs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's Borat, so I didn't think it was played for history.
It is, yeah. It's the running of the Jew instead of the running of the bulls at the very beginning of Borat, Mitch.
Wait, no Shiva, baby. They had Bear Jews on
It's
there.
a
in the
little
top
more
10.
obscure, though.
No Walter. That's shocking,
That is
guys.
shocking. Well, he was well represented on our list.
He really was. Number 2 for you, number 1 for me and Mooser. All right, guys.
Who found the photo?
I mean, Walter's great, but how can I put him above
the Borat picture?
What asshole?
How can I put Walter above the King of the Jews?
That's true. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Borat, but it's like, what is that? That's not a character.
They post these things at like 9 a.m. So somebody with their coffee is like, I must run to Twitter and post a photo of the Jewish caricature from Borat.
We should describe what the picture is. It's a giant, it's like almost like a float.
It's a paper
right?
mache.
Yeah, it's like a paper mache.
It looks like a troll.
What were the
words?
Like
a monster. She
She's almost
stopped.
stopped.
Is she? Because I think it's part of the game where they're because then she sits down and she lays eggs and there's like money comes out or something.
So one of our listeners is like, oh, Jewish characters, I got one for you. And they
not even Jewish. A crude caricature. Played by
not even a character. Not even a character. It's just a thing.
Crude caricature.
It's a thing though. It's not even. We're looking for Jewish characters. They just found a thing.
That's a crude imitation.
That's the first thing they thought of when they were Jewish. Jesus Christ.
Jewish. He's Jewish.
All right. Let's gamble and wrap this up.
Brian, come on. I don't like it when you get all like, all right, I've had enough. That's my job.
Last week we gambled on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Do we have the numbers from the?
I think I was one lower than you.
Do we have the master list?
Hold on.
I don't remember what I was right. I don't think I wrote mine down.
No.
I think I was 67 or 66 or something along those lines. You were below me, so it doesn't matter.
What matters?
Can you hear how pained I am?
It matters.
Mm-hmm.
It matters.
Mm-hmm.
Film while gambling.
Yeah, you wrote them down?
Kept.
Oh, Mike Cole.
Updated by Mike Cole. Thank you, Mike. Hey, guy. Let me.
Hey, guy. What are you doing?
I think that's his.
All right, let's start doing the wrap up here. Well,
Oh, 78, 77 for me.
All right.
78 from Anderson.
Yep.
77 from Bryan with 303 reviews. The actual Rotten Tomatoes score for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is 47%.
That's much lower than
really is shocking that it's that low.
I
Because I mean, the movie
the winner.
does what it sets out to do, which is entertain you, right? In a somewhat clever, interesting characters.
I agree.
Fun backdrop, fun world building. I mean, what do they want from Ant-Man?
I think it was Evangeline Lilly's haircut.
Her haircut is too short, but what do they want?
It's not gonna
what are they
matter.
looking for?
Fuck, you're going to win this month. God damn.
I mean, that goes without saying. But what are these critics like
Does
looking
it?
for? There's very few capes.
Are they craving DC now?
Oh, no.
Well, wait a minute. This month, no, we had a tie. You won, and then I won. We got a rubber match going.
Oh, that
on.
means that, the month's over. Or actually, whatever happens this
No,
weekend.
there's one more.
How are there 5 this month?
No,
there weren't.
On February 3rd, we did Knock at the Cabin.
All right.
February 10th, we did Magic Mike.
Yeah.
February 17th, which is this week, we did Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right.
And
So it's
paid
maybe a
up.
tie.
And then No, we had a tie. You won. I just won.
Oh, we had a
this
tie.
one-
The first one was
This
a tie?
is going to come down to
Oh,
rubber
yeah.
match.
The rare rubber match in a 4-week month.
Well, literally rare because we've never done this before.
All right. Well, great.
All right.
And this week, we're gambling on
Cocaine
what else
bear,
but Cocaine Bear.
Hold on, I got to look this up.
Cocaine bear. It is based on reality.
And you can tell by the trailer that he's really hungry.
This is the. All right, I got it. I got it.
Let me think about this. Cocaine Bear.
You know who directed this?
Elizabeth Banks.
That's right.
Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Banks.
I mean, I got my number. Right?
He does cocaine.
He eats it, really.
He consumes
I
it.
don't think he chops up the lines,
I doubt it very much.
Yeah.
All they could scratch lines in it. That's all really we were talking about.
He doesn't roll up bark and snort it properly. He eats it like a pig. Come on, Brian.
He's doing piggies.
Got a number.
He is doing berries. All right. What do you got?
You got a number.
1, 3, 2,
83. Oh.
This is a.
So you said 88. You said 83.
Phil Lord.
I know.
Yeah.
There are 0 reviews, so there's currently no score.
Come on now, kids. They could be looking
I don't think
for
it's a bad sign. I think they want to.
Yeah.
No, they'd be trumpeting that shit.
It definitely won't shock me if the best parts were in the trailer because the trailer was that good. There's no way it could keep up that kind of energy and rapid fire punchlines. Or could it?
So you're saying it comes down occasionally?
Yeah, I mean it might be
Needs
a
a
one-trick
bump?
pony. You need little bumpies. Yeah, how many nerds are gonna go? I'm like, let's do blow and watch the movie.
How long is the movie? Anyone know?
No one knows.
No one knows.
They stopped doing runtimes on IMDb.
Really?
They don't always.
No,
do them.
that's impossible.
No, not impossible. Cocaine. I keep calling
Hour
it
35.
Perfect.
How do you know that?
Because I Googled it.
Yeah.
Story
there it
check,
is.
yeah.
It's right there on IMDb, but it's not always on. I'm telling you, it's not
Not on
always.
IMDb.
I was
saw it on
looking for the
IMDb.
runtime of Ant-Man. I was trying to figure out how long I was going to have to endure.
Well, they don't want to hide it if it's over. They want to hide it if it's over 2.
Maybe
Hour
it's good.
35 is good for business.
This is not
Turnover.
Ray Liotta's last role, but it is one of his 4 last roles.
I thought that's what
No, he's got Dangerous Waters. It's in post-production April 29th, 1992, which is a very bizarre title.
What?
Well, that's post-production, and Fool's Paradise it's completed, so that might be his last one.
Perhaps this is the last one he shot.
I mean, it's going to be the last one that's released. But April 29th, 1992, stars Ray Liotta, Dylan Arnold, and the aforementioned, people use that way too much, especially when they're trying to sound fancy, Scott Eastwood.
All right.
He wasn't even aforementioned on this episode.
It's
Last
true.
one
It
was?
was the last time.
Oh, last one.
A shopkeeper must save his son from an angry mob during the 1992 LA uprising after Rodney King burnt.
Maybe we can have John Cho back and explain to him what happened with the Korean liquor stores.
Yeah, I think he might want to hear what my take is.
Yeah,
on
totally.
Christ almighty.
Thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you to Jonathan Mooser, not Oxhorn, for assigning us the list this week. What is this? Hold on. Matt Birkenbile has a text-heavy. Oh, that's good. I like the art. How do
I need to see this.
Sorry, I'm reading. This is bad pot. It's done in the style of Star Wars, and the scroll that's reading before Star Wars says, I'm not going to read it. You guys got to go to our socials or AndersonandBryan.com to check this out. It's good. It's good. As always, thanks, Matt Birkenbile. This is excellent. Film Vault, the last podcast. It's good. Always down for a Star Wars parody.
I'm reading now, too. Yes,
always down for a Star Wars parody. Uranium Orchard is our featured artist this week.
Look at Florence right there in the middle.
I know. Uranium Orchard. Check them out, AndersonandBryan.com. Check out AndersonandBryan.com for the Amazon banner. If you want to become a Patreon member, patreon.com/thefilmvault. Lots of good stuff over there. We just did a spoiler last week for Aftersun. Aftersun.
Yeah, I explained to Brian why it's good, and he was still confused.
Yeah, I know. I may never get over it. Check that out. Anderson and Bryan on Instagram. Anderson and Bryan on TikTok. The Film Vault on Twitter. The Film Vault on Facebook. The Film Vault podcast on YouTube. Yes, thank you, everyone. Especially thanks to our Patreon listeners keeping the show going. Giovanni, Mitch Burns, Mike Cole, and Eric Kath. We appreciate all of you for your contributions to the show. Avery's got a gig coming up. When is that? That's Friday, March
3rd at 8 p.m. It is called Comedy Confessional. It is in Santa Monica. We collect random secrets from the audience, and comedians work them into their act. It'll be a lot of fun, great lineup, and you can get tickets at my Instagram at Avery Comedy. Link is in my bio.
Love that idea. I would love to. March 3rd.
It's every month. It's the first Friday of every month at the Crow in Santa Monica. Tons of parking.
Where's the Crow?
Get liquored up before. It's right across from Birdie G's, if you've ever been there.
Where's Birdie G's?
It's like in Bergamot Station. Right?
Yeah. Do you know Santa Monica Water Gardens? Have you passed by that before?
You know where Cloverfield is?
Yeah, I know Cloverfield. I know this whole area. I just don't know these
It's tucked in.
Birdie G's is tucked away.
It's like Wilshire.
It's right at the exit
24th
with the
Street.
giant American flag. It's
okay.
right there.
Is it like Olympic?
That's like 26th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Take some public transpo down there, Uber or something.
I may have to go to this.
Yeah, what's the seat? How many people's a seat?
It'll be 25 in there. It's a packed in room.
Okay. So it's going to be pretty intimate when you're hearing people's intimate things. That's interesting.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
What if I try and slip in some plugs for the Film Vault and miss my laughter? Like, ha ha ha, the Film Vault.
That's very grassroots, trying to plug it to drunken crowd of 25 people.
You also got to imagine a number of those people are familiar with said Film Vault.
I will not imagine any of that because I'm tired of imagining things. I'm tired of imagining.
All right, anything you want to promote? No? Good.
We do it. Are you going to throw it at me or we do it for Van Gogh?